Alright guys, there were some of the kabooms in Sevastopol recorded yesterday not far away from the local airfield. NASA satellites confirmed that fire spread out in this facility as well as many locals reported it in Telegram channels of the city. So if we zoom into Sevastopol, Crimea, you see this airfield and now it's been used by military. Well, maybe it's just for helicopters and attack airplanes because the runway here is kind of short one. It's the local air club actually was before. I'm from Sevastopol myself originally, so I know those places. Nevertheless, fire broke out in this area, so I think that Russia deployed some of the air defense here. If you look at the satellite images once again, yeah, definitely this area, and we see that probably Russia put something on this apron, which caught fire. The airfield name is Kazachya Bukhta, and yeah, this is the not a long runway, I would say, not okay for fighter jets. That's why the main military airfield is a little bit further, it's called Belbek. Here is a good runway. And we have the visual evidence from Crimea, something is really burning, hard to tell what. It's a nighttime after all, the picture was taken from the very far distance, it's grainy image, but at least the strike was confirmed by NASA satellites and real evidence. Alright, minus one more train for Russia, this time in occupied Crimea. Ukrainian Special Operation Forces confirmed they hit Russian fuel train near Jankoy station in occupied Crimea during a night operation on August 21st, so the last night. This strike disrupted the Russian logistics in the southern front lines, which is good. Russia is preparing for some sort of the offensive operation this autumn, and Ukraine does everything to cut supplies for Russia, so maybe they will postpone their major assault or even cancel it. Also yesterday Russia lost one more oil refinery. This is Rostov Oblast. It was hit during the nighttime, fire broke out. The name of the facility is Novoshakhtinsky Oil Refinery. And definitely for the first time it was confirmed that Ukraine used Flamingo cruise missiles. Well, at least today Zelensky said that missile was tested in real conditions and it is very effective. Russians also reported about Flamingo. And here we have a short clip featuring Flamingo missile. Let's watch it.
Weapon production is a huge guarantee of Ukraine independence, but also European safety. The overall technical characteristics is not much different from a Shahed. Of course, it has different construction, but the function is the same. The maximum range is 3,000 kilometers confirmed, with an accuracy of 14 meters to target on this distance. And the payload capacity is, in the moment, 1,150 kilograms. Right now, Ukraine is holding this barrier and, let's say, it's exporting safety to other countries.
Well, then she compared this missile to Shahed. I think she was speaking about the principle of the operation. So you put coordinates and it flies on its own, but characteristics are obviously different. So here we may see 1, 2, 3, 4 missiles already fully produced, I would say. And here we have one more image. Definitely this missile looks stunning. It is huge. You may see it takes all of the cargo ramp here, and the payload, she said, is even more than 1,000 kilos. It's 1,150, I guess she said. And the missile is controllable. All of the empennage is moving really nice. This is the launching unit, launching rails, you may call it, and there is the rocket engine, which gives the initial acceleration for missile. Then the jet engine catches up and missile goes and flies for 3,000 kilometers long as promised. Here the wings are detached, but later on will be attached. This is fascinating, guys. This is really something special. For some specific operations, like for example targeting Russian oil refineries, this could be a game changer. Way more effective compared to drones because of the significant payload and the airspeed of this missile, its altitude, so it's very hard to intercept it. And here, compared to people around, you may see how big this missile really is. It is huge. It is bigger than Taurus, more heavy, and may fly for a longer range. And yes, I think at least one missile, since it's Flamingo, should be painted like that. First of all, it looks awesome and it will troll Russians even more. By the way, the developer of the missile is the Firepoint company. Maybe they work in cooperations with Germans, I'm almost sure about it, and they claim that they produce one missile per day. It's already a huge number for this big missile. Just imagine 365 missiles per year. That's a lot. And with its power, a single strike is enough to demolish an entire Russian refinery. But they also plan to expand the production until the end of the year. They plan to produce 7 missiles per day. Is it really real? Honestly, guys, I have some doubts because this is sophisticated production, but with enough resources and finances, I think it's possible at some period of time. Maybe not till the end of the year, but in general, it is possible. And just imagine 7 missiles per day. Okay, each day you launch 7 missiles deep inside Russia. If at least 2 make it to the target, there is nothing left from the target because this is very heavy, big missile. Yeah, it's outstanding, guys. Honestly, I was really surprised that Ukraine started its production and now it is already in use. Some people say that Ukraine shouldn't disclose the information about missiles, but now Ukraine has political argument for Russia. Come on, Russia, we have this tool, and if you don't want to negotiate, expect it to arrive. Alright, now we have the damage confirmation from the Saratov oil refinery facility, which was hit on 10th of August. It was confirmed that Russia cannot use this facility any longer. They ceased their operation and waiting for repairs. The Moscow Times gives us the information that there is fuel shortage already in Russia, in the Russian Far East, as Ukrainian strikes take refineries offline. One by one, almost every day, Russia loses refineries. For example, the one that was hit in Rostov today was producing almost 2% of entire Russian fuel and diesel. And it is just one. Since the beginning of the month, Ukraine hit lots of the facilities, like roughly 10, something like this. So Russia has lost roughly 13% of its oil refinery capacity, and with the new Flamingo missile, Russia may lose even more, because the range is just extraordinary of that missile. Ukraine has the chance to expand its capabilities to hit Russian oil refineries, and those meshes or nets will not help Russians any longer. And it is not just the Far East where there is the fuel crisis in Russia, but in Primorsky Krai, Zabalkarsky Krai, Vladivostok, yeah, the fuel prices increased dramatically by 30% at least. Well, Voronezh region, Russia, something went wrong with the high voltage substation. That led to the collapse of the train connection, plus the local nuclear power plant had to switch to emergency source of power. Yeah, it seems like the last night for Russia was not okay at all. At the same time, Russia launched their attack on Ukraine, targeting many of the areas, places, and also western side of Ukraine. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, they hit the gas facility, the gas pipeline was on fire. In the western part, they hit American factory. Yeah, Ukraine has other business from outside Ukraine. The American factory, which was producing some of the spare parts, some household appliances not connected to military at all. Yeah, this is the factory, you see, nothing is left. It's Mukachevo, far western side of Ukraine. Zelensky gave the interview today, lots of the political stuff, but I'm gonna speak about it in next dedicated, especially for that topic video. Here we speak about the general news. So Zelensky said that the Russian attack in Pokrov's direction was totally cancelled with emergency brigade Ukraine deployed. Yeah, clearly we already see it on military maps. About Russia, Zelensky says that Russia has more soldiers, more military equipment, more weapons, but Russian economy is at the brink to collapse. Well, those talks are ongoing already for many years since the war had started. But if you want to hear my opinion, Russia is still capable to sustain its military, because Russia sells fossil fuels to India, to China, to European Union and other countries, so I do not expect Russian economy to collapse just like that in a matter of days. No, it is the long process, as it was, for example, for the Soviet Union in 1980s. But yeah, it is inevitable, Russia will collapse, I'm 100% sure about it. But it is not the fast process, that is what I want to state here, and during the process of the collapse, Russia is like this wounded beast, is biting everything around. That's why it's very dangerous, yeah, not just for Ukraine, but for other states too. Zelensky mentions that Russia will be kicked out from Sumy, also just a matter of time, he says. Well, yes, it's possible, and by the way, Russia lost one of their main commanders of that region recently. There was successful Ukrainian and precise Ukrainian drone attack. General was not zeroed completely, but he is in a very terrible state and still in intense care in hospital, so he will not be a commander any longer. Zelensky says that Kharkiv region also will not be occupied. Yeah, but Ukraine, there is the threat actually for Kupiansk now. Zelensky also mentioned that they're ready for drone cooperation with the United States of America, sharing Ukrainian drone technologies. And I think that it's must-have for the United States of America because, for example, their drone boat program completely failed. So Pentagon is spending millions and millions of dollars to develop something looking like drone boats. The idea is that the United States wants to contain China with a fleet of autonomous marine drones. They saw how successful Ukraine was developing Magura boats, for example, a very precise long-range weaponry and the platform for even FPV drones, air defense and many more. But the recent tests of the American drone boats in July show complete failure of the program. During the demonstration, one of the boats suddenly stalled and another crashed into stationary ship, flew over its deck and fell into the water. Like, what? Later on, they found out significant issues with hardware and software. The general responsible for this stuff was dismissed. Temporary, I think. So why not to cooperate with Ukraine in this case? Ukraine has a working program, Magura drone boats. They're very precise. Remember how one of the boats hit the pillar of the carriage bridge, very far away from the launching spot. So the constant connection, despite electronic warfare Russia uses. From what we see, everything is working perfect with Magura drone boats. So just invest in Ukraine. Ukraine will share technologies and United States will have the best boats. So they may improve them. But no, Pentagon want to invent a bicycle, invest in millions for the product which is not okay, judging on the tests. And believe me, it's not just about those drone boats. Sometimes I think they do it for purpose to waste more money from budget, yeah? And this is the tweet from the United States Army official account which they posted 1 month ago in July 2025. Have you ever seen a drone drop a grenade? Wow! Watch soldiers from this unit, the joint multinational training group, Ukraine and 173rd Brigade execute Army's first live grenade drop from unmanned aircraft system. Well, here at least they admit the cooperation with the Ukrainian Army.
Range 132 at Grafenwehr, and we had...
Oh, they play music. Sorry, guys, I cannot play audio here. So what they do... Oh, by the way, this is the very expensive drone. I think I already told about it in one of my videos. So it's the analog of DJI, but it costs like 10 times more. So here they drop grenade on some of the carton there. And in the tweet itself, they say, oh, have you ever seen it? Like, wow, it's something new. That's why they deleted this video and the tweet altogether. Yeah, you know what, United States Army, we see this stuff already for many, many freaking years. Again, it tells that American military and the Western military in general, they're not up to time. Like, look what is happening in Ukraine. Update your military, upgrade drones, Shahi types of the drones, FPVs. There should be schools like China. China is more smarter here. They understood it right away that they must do it to be capable on the front lines. For Americans, for Europeans, it's just, okay, oh, they do something. We need also to do something, but how? Cooperate with Ukraine because it has those technologies already. Well, Lithuania to give children drone training to counter Russian threat. Government aims to teach 22,000 people, including children, so probably they have some of the school programs. In Ukraine, it is planned as well, by the way, those school programs for kids, FPV drone training. In Russia, it is happening too. Well, Lithuania is very close to Russia, that's why they're concerned, and they're thinking about the civilian resistance. Because with the limited armies those Baltic countries have, just civilian resistance will help to avoid the full occupation by Russia, in case it happens, but I think it will. Just a matter of time, and it will be before Russia's collapse. I think I'm gonna film the separate video why do I think like that and why even this year's military drills in Belarus are very concerning. Oh, it's a long time since I saw the Bayraktar TB2 drone in operation. This is the Russian boat spotted in Kherson region, Dnipro River. Here you can see something is coming here. Could be a big mosquito and it bites really hard. So yes, we see Bayraktars in operation. They're quite limited, I would say, because after all, they're more vulnerable to the air defense systems like S-300, Buk, but Ukraine nails those systems sometimes, as it happened yesterday with S-300 system, which was kaputted by drones. And in a way, that is how Ukraine clears the way to use Bayraktars or different type of aviation drones or F-16s, MiG-29, Sukhoi 27s, and so on. My friends, thank you so much for supporting my job on Patreon. The link for my Patreon page is, as usual, in the video description below. You are awesome supporting me there. Stand by for more updates today, and I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are, and have a great time.